Hello everyone, Bob Kendall here, Kendall Report. I want to introduce myself. I always talk about my 40 years of experience, but what the heck is that? They're just words. So let me introduce what I've been doing in the markets for about 41 years. I started off on Chicago Board of Trade. Fortunately, believe it or not, I lost all my money. It made me go upstairs and study the markets and figure out how to eliminate the emotion of trading. That's one of the biggest elements that most people have a hard time overcoming. I was no different. I built my very first trading models on an Apple II with VisiCalc, which is a spreadsheet, and started crunching numbers to come up with some theories that I believe would be useful. In 1981, that model produced a 235% gain, and everybody wanted me to run their money after that. My business grew substantially. I also had segregated my business in two forms: retail money management and institutional risk management. I traded bonds, currencies, and gold was the primary markets that I focused on. For the most part, the bonds were a big part of what I did, and I lived and breathed the bond market for quite a few years. In 1984, I did collaborate with an associate, ex-professor, University of Michigan, PhD and physicist. We worked on some serious math and understanding trend following, as well as the characteristics of moving averages and how markets reacted when they were above or below them and when they were likely to penetrate. We built an entire set of rules around this and began trading on it. In 1987, my claim to fame was 2 weeks before the crash. Not only did we get out, we ended up being very short, having a lot of puts, put spreads, and short calls coming into the crash of '87. It was a phenomenal time. In 1989, I was a head technical analyst for a firm with 5,000 reps. I also ran house money. I made a commitment to my firm that any trade that I put out to the system, to our reps, that I would also put in a house account, and I got paid by the money I made. I didn't make a salary for providing these services to the firm. The success was unbelievable that I had. In fact, the COO of the firm wanted to pay all the analysts like that going forward, making everybody put their money where their mouth is. As I moved forward, around 1990, I did my first automation of the system. I met some folks at TradeStation. I started developing models, and around 1992, we delivered our first model. I coined the phrase solution provider, which was an add-in to TradeStation. As you may see when you watch my channel, I still use TradeStation. I'm a big fan. I've been using the product since 1992. I've been through every iteration. In fact, some of my user studies ended up to be part of their platform. As we move forward, in 1992, I became a trader on the Pacific Options Exchange, worked with a large hedge fund. They were option traders. I was predominantly a derivative futures guy. I brought in new elements for the firm and how they could manage their money and manage risk. My entire life since 1980 has been managing risk. That's why I continue as we go forward to build the virtual portfolio manager, portfolio expert. I've actually built 3 different software platforms for trading over these years. I was institutional rep at Merrill Lynch. I handled Forex accounts and bond accounts. I had large mortgage bankers, major banks, all those folks were my clients. Also in 1996, I had a institutional newsletter called the Daily Quant Fixed Income Report, which was distributed to 36 of the major banks. This process was used in institutional rooms, primarily in proprietary trading rooms. It was in 1998 when I did the first iteration of what would become the virtual portfolio manager and ultimately portfolio expert. There's quite a long history. I spent the last 22 years helping investment managers to manage their money, manage that risk, because that's who I am, and most importantly, show them how to grow money in the good times, but make sure you don't give it all back in times like we just went through. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching my channel.